2. Theories on the causes of war. Thucydides' trap. Democratic peace theory. Resource conflicts. 1. Thucydides' trap. Definition. Thucydides' trap is a term coined by political scientist Graham Allison, based on the ancient historian Thucydides' analysis of the Peloponnesian War 431-424 BCE. It refers to the structural stress that occurs when a rising power threatens to displace an existing hegemon, often resulting in war. Thucydides' famous quote, "It was the rise of Athens," and the fear that this instilled in Sparta that made war inevitable. Key ideas: rising power gains in economic, military, and political influence. Established power feels threatened by the challenger and may act preemptively or defensively. Security dilemma. Both powers interpret each other's actions as aggressive, even if defensive in nature. Historical examples: Peloponnesian War, Athens rising versus Sparta established. World War I, Germany rising versus Britain, France established. World War II, Germany re-emerging challenged Britain and France. Cold War USSR, an example, where war was avoided despite rivalry. U.S.-China relations. Many scholars today warn that current U.S.-China tensions resemble a modern Thucydides trap. Criticisms. Determinism. It implies war is inevitable, ignoring diplomacy, international institutions, and economic interdependence. Oversimplification. It reduces complex geopolitical relationships to a two-power rivalry. Selection bias. Many rising powers do not go to war, e.g. U.S. overtaking Britain in the 19th century. Modern relevance. As China rises, the U.S. may respond with containment, alliances, or increased military posturing, creating tension. The theory encourages leaders to recognize these patterns and seek peaceful management of transitions. 2. Democratic peace theory. Definition. Democratic peace theory (DPT) suggests that democracies are less likely to go to war with one another. It's one of the most influential liberal theories in international relations. Origins. Immanuel Kant, 1795. In Perpetual Peace, Kant proposed that republican democratic governments, economic interdependence, and international law promote peace. Modern empirical studies e.g. Bruce Russett, Michael Doyle, provide statistical evidence supporting the claim. Core assumptions. Institutional constraints. Democracies have checks and balances, public accountability, and slower decision-making processes. Normative model democratic leaders are socialized to resolve conflicts peacefully. Transparency. Open political processes reduce misperceptions and misinformation. Shared interests. Democracies often share common political values and economic ties. Empirical support. Since no two established democracies have fought a large-scale war against each other. Examples: U.S. and Britain, France, and Germany post-WE. Criticisms. Definition problem. What qualifies as a democracy? New or fragile democracies often engage in conflict. Exceptions. Some point to covert interventions, e.g. U.S. in Chile or Iran, as undermining the theory. Peace due to other factors, such as economic interdependence, nuclear deterrence, or regional institutions, e.g. NATO, EU. Modern relevance. DPT supports promoting democracy as a path to global peace, influencing U.S. foreign policy, e.g. post-Cold War democracy promotion, Iraq War. Critics argue that imposing democracy may provoke more instability in the short term. 3. Resource conflicts. Definition. Resource conflicts arise when states or groups fight over access to or control of scarce natural resources, such as oil, water, minerals, or fertile land. This is often seen through the lens of realist and neo-Malthusian perspectives. Theoretical roots. Realism: war is a tool for survival and power acquisition in an anarchic world. Controlling resources strengthens national power. Neo-Malthusianism, scarcity of vital resources, leads to competition and conflict. Environmental security studies link environmental degradation to state and civil conflict. Examples: Middle East oil Iraq's invasion of Kuwait, 1990, over oil conflicts over oil-rich regions in Libya, Sudan. Water conflicts, Nile Basin tensions, Egypt versus Ethiopia, Jordan River disputes, and future risks in Central Asia and South Asia. Africa minerals and land. Democratic Republic of Congo's civil war involved control over coltan and diamonds. Russia-Ukraine war beyond security concerns. Resource-rich regions like Donbass and control over energy routes play a role. Dynamics of resource conflicts. Lootable resources, such as diamonds or gold, can fund rebel group C.G. blood diamonds in Sierra Leone. State fragility. Weak governance over resources can spark insurgencies. Transboundary resources. Shared resources, like rivers and oil fields, lead to interstate tensions. Criticisms, correlation causation. Resources might be one of many contributing factors. Governance matters. Strong institutions can mediate resource competition. Not all resource-rich areas experience war. Norway and Canada manage their resources peacefully. Modern relevance. Climate change intensifies resource scarcity, increasing the potential for climate wars, competition over rare earth minerals, lithium, and critical energy corridors could spark future geopolitical confrontations. Each theory offers a distinct analytical lens through which international conflict can be interpreted, providing unique insights into the underlying causes of war. Thucydides' trap draws from the ancient historian's account of the Peloponnesian War, where the rise of Athens threatened the dominance of Sparta, ultimately leading to conflict. This theory suggests that when a rising power threatens to displace an established hegemon, fear and misperception increase the likelihood of war. The U.S.-China rivalry is often cited as a modern example of this dynamic. Power transitions generate uncertainty and insecurity, prompting preemptive strategies and strategic competition that may escalate into open hostilities. Democratic peace theory, in contrast, emphasizes the internal characteristics of political systems. It argues that democracies are less likely to go to war with one another due to shared norms, institutional checks and balances, and accountability to the public. Democratic states are more inclined to resolve disputes through negotiation and legal mechanisms, rather than through force. However, this peace is often contingent upon both parties being democratic. Interactions between democracies and autocracies still bear a high risk of conflict. Resource conflict theory highlights the material basis of war, focusing on how the competition for scarce or valuable resources such as oil, water, minerals, or arable land can trigger violence. Control over resources often means power, wealth, and strategic leverage, making them central to both state and non-state actors. Resource-rich regions like the Middle East or parts of Africa frequently become flashpoints, where internal grievances intersect with international interests, further complicating peace efforts. In reality, wars rarely stem from a single cause. Instead, they are usually the product of a complex interplay of multiple factors. For example, a rising power may seek to assert its influence through Thucydides' trap, while simultaneously experiencing internal regime insecurity that discourages compromise. Challenging democratic peace theory, all while pursuing strategic resources to sustain its growth. Resource conflict. These overlapping motivations can create a volatile mix that increases the chances of miscalculation and escalation. Understanding these theoretical frameworks is not merely an academic exercise. It equips policymakers, analysts, and scholars with critical tools to diagnose tensions before they erupt. By recognizing signs of structural power shifts, assessing the nature of domestic political institutions, and identifying high-stakes resource competitions, decision-makers can design more effective conflict, prevention, and management strategies. In an increasingly interconnected and multipolar world, grasping the multifaceted nature of war is essential for building durable peace and stability.